y'all, welcome back. Today we're going to make creamy sausage and potatoes. It's supposed to be a really quick dump and go type dinner, and all of it's going to be made on the stove. I browned some ground pork sausage, the type that you would have for breakfast, and an onion. I chopped all that up and I've already browned it. The next thing you're supposed to do is add enough water to cover it, because you're going to add the potatoes in. So you're going to have to add enough water to cover the sausage and the onion, and you need to cook this for 10 minutes. We'll do the next item in the recipe. So now we're going to add some diced potatoes. I may have done a little bit too many. Sometimes I do that. I'm going to continuously stir it. I'm going to get a lid and cover it. You're going to cook this for about 10 minutes. I've got it on medium-high heat. And just a little reminder, you are not supposed to drain the fat in between putting the water in and the potatoes and all that. Recipe didn't say that. So cover it and cook for about 10 minutes until the potatoes are done. Well, why don't we salt and pepper this real quick? I'm just going to put in what I think will work. And then when I serve it, I'm probably going to have to add more salt, because potatoes soak it up. All right, cover and cook until the potatoes are tender. Okay, y'all, so it's time for your thickening agent for this, because you don't want it to stay this way. The creamy part of the recipe is going to literally be 1 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of flour. You could probably use cornstarch, but it may lump up, because you have to do cornstarch in a cold environment. It doesn't mix well with hot. It lumps up real bad. Let's see if you can see this. 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of milk, you're gonna add this to it to kind of thicken everything up a little bit. Pour it in. And you're going to cook it until it starts to thicken. And just keep stirring occasionally. And that's it. That'll be the end of the recipe. I will be sure to show you what it looks like in the end, but you just keep kind of slowly cooking it. I did cut it down on low so that it won't cook so fast and that it thickens up. But that's it. That's the gist of the recipe. It's really easy, simple, and definitely on budget, because this is like hardly any money at all. I would say less than $5 or right at $5. The sausage was like $1, $1.50, and then the potatoes already had, and it was basically just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you got a meal for a whole family. You could leave it this way or pair it with some bread, some sort of bread, rolls, anything. But it's pretty easy and simple. And I'm going to add some more salt and pepper. It already has onion in it. You wouldn't want to add anything like that. And you could probably add some parsley if you would like that. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. I just let it continue to basically boil in the skillet until the potatoes were tender. You're going to need some salt and pepper. It's going to need a little bit more flavor, I guess. And it is kind of plain, but it'll work for a meal. It's enough that you can feed your family 5 or 6 people at least. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley on it. This is dried parsley, but you can use fresh. Salt and pepper, and you're good to go. You could even sprinkle a little bit of cheese on it or add some frozen peas. That would work as well. Today I'm going to do a really quick tutorial of sorts on how to take plain chicken and just kind of spice it up a little bit, and that way you can still, you know, get away from the mundane chicken and have a little bit better tasting product when it comes to putting it on the table. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 425. I'm going to use chicken thighs. You do not have to, but I would advise something with a bone in it, because it has more fat than a chicken breast, and you're kind of wanting this to roast in the oven and crisp up with the skin. So skinless chicken breast, maybe not such a good idea. You can try it, but you can, if I had to go skinless, I would probably try skinless thighs. This is poultry seasoning. I keep this on hand to make dressing and stuff like that throughout the year. So I have an abundance of that. We're doing about, it's a big family pack of chicken thighs, so it's about 8 pieces, not 8 pounds. It's about 5 pounds worth of meat. I'm going to do quite a bit of onion powder, about half of that in garlic powder, and about half of that in paprika. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and some pepper. I got a 9x13 pan out, and I sprayed it with some spray, and I put my chicken thighs completely thawed. You don't want them half frozen or anything like that, in a big gallon size freezer bag. And right now I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there. For those of you that are sticklers about measuring, maybe 1/8 of a cup, maybe 1/4 of a cup. It's just enough to wet them. So you need to massage the oil into those. So let's go ahead. Let's put skin side down in the pan.
There's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand.
I'm going to take a little bit of foil, and we're going to put on the top, and we're going to put it in the oven, 425, until it is complete. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. Just keep an eye on it. Your main goal is to get it crispy. Probably the best pan to put it in would be like a sheet pan, and do it that way, a cookie sheet, a baking sheet, and cook it like that. But it's still kind of crisped up for me. I took the foil off about midway through and let it finish cooking. It took a little bit over an hour, maybe an hour 15 minutes, because the thighs that I had were kind of thick. But I paired it with some mashed potatoes and gravy and some green beans. Spam fried potatoes. So you need to get your bell pepper and your potatoes and your onion and your Spam chopped up. Set those aside. I have those here. So I've already got those set aside. And now you're gonna mix up a flour mixture to coat everything in. This is a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. You're gonna need about a teaspoon of black pepper, and about a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna kind of go easy on the salt, and some garlic powder, about a teaspoon. You're gonna take your Spam, onions, and bell pepper that you chopped up previously, and your potatoes. I'm gonna mix all that together. And we're going to toss and coat this mixture.
Don't you tell me that you're in town, I already know. Couple days ago. Hey, now that our names are written in stone, let's be honest, sounds like home. Still I'm here alone.
You're gonna cook this in some really hot cooking oil. On high for about 5 minutes, and then after that we're going to cut it down and simmer it. Bacon grease would be perfect for this, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to have to do it with just plain old olive oil because that's all I have. But all the measurements will be down below. case you're wondering. But let's get this on the stove and get it cooked. Okay, y'all, so I got my oil in here. I got my skillet hot. So I'm gonna put about half of this mixture in there. Well, my goal is a single layer. Let me just put it that way.
I would die if I saw you now. Dreams might turn into something.
So we're gonna let it cook on high. And then we're going to cut it down, let it finish cooking. And then we're gonna put the next batch in. Okay, y'all, this is the finished product. I did make it in batches so that everything would get good and done. The first batch, I got a little bit crispy and crunchy. Tried it. It is fantastic. So don't ever think that you just put these plain things together and it's just going to be the worst thing you ever tasted. It's very similar to like a hash, where you got your meats, your potatoes, your vegetables, you throw them all together and make them like for a breakfast or something like that. We're going to have this tonight with some vegetables, some fresh vegetables out of the garden. But you could really serve it any time of the day. All right, I'll see y'all next time.
Wish I